Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this and listening as a replay. And welcome to all of my YouTube subscribers, podcast subscribers. Welcome. Good morning. It is Win the Day. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm going to be coming to you guys with a new episode, podcast, whatever you call it. I'm here. So, the entire point is for us to discuss business and how this really plays into our lifestyle because I want you guys to find success. It is nothing if you know a ton about business, but the way that you implement and the way that you include that in your life does not actually allow you to have a life. So that's what I'm here to talk about. All things helping us find some balance. I'm Tanika D'Souza, the 100K challenge chick, and I'm here to challenge you guys to your first 100K in business. 100K in business. So I'm kind of hyped today and excited today because yesterday was the kickoff to officially launch my 100K accelerator coaching group. It was so awesome. And I just really wish that every single one of you for your businesses, you have that experience, that program, that thing you've been designing that you are able to bring to market. People need it. People want that solution from you. And then you have the experience of executing it. It was so, so awesome. So today I'm jumping into a topic that kind of flows from what I was talking about with that group yesterday. And it is dealing with imposter syndrome. Do you know what that is? Anybody for imposter syndrome? If you know, put your comment in the chat. But imposter syndrome is very real. I'm giving people a chance to write something and respond. But it is a very real thing, right? Imposter syndrome is how a lot of people feel, especially when they are new in business and they are trying to figure things out, but they start to offer programs, especially those who offer services, and they start to feel like, should I be doing this? Am I able to do this? Are people going to believe that I have the solution? Are they really going to believe that I can help them? And this is where it's like your doubt and not having a surety mixes with like not having a lot of experience and results for your clients. So as you are navigating, especially being new, so many entrepreneurs, this is the reason why they quit. This is the reason why they don't continue to move forward. So that's not going to be your story. I'm going to tell you guys 3 things that you're going to do that you already have that will help you combat imposter syndrome, right? We need ways that are going to help us boost our confidence, feel good about ourselves, and continue moving forward as we gain more of the expertise that tend to dull the fire of imposter syndrome. So let's walk through this. One of the big things that I coached on yesterday was, well, actually, the coaching program starts in module 1 talking about your signature brand identity, right? And the reason I start there is because if you spend the time every year, and for me it's at least once a year, maybe twice a year, to really get super crystal clear about what you're doing and whether the things you're doing are actually helping you get that result, then you tend to stay moving forward, right? If you are just not so sure about what you're building in your business, if you're not so sure about how you're going to get there, how you're going to make money, where you're going to find your audience, then it makes it really, really tough for you to continue moving forward because you're constantly just rethinking what I'm going to call your foundation. So I start my coaching program really helping the women identify their signature brand, right? What is so unique about your company and your brand? And we did an exercise really going through lots of other brands and what they mean and what they stand for in the community, how, how they've affected that person's life, all of those things. So I start them with thinking about how they're going to create that for their own business, right? So you're thinking, how does that help with imposter syndrome? Well, imposter syndrome is simply you thinking that you don't have what it takes to get this done. But if you're super crystal clear about what it takes, what you're building, how you're getting it done, then that kind of in itself starts to deflate imposter syndrome, right? But the thing I want you to focus on is the fact that imposter syndrome is real. People deal with it, they have to overcome it. It is real. But what you have to offer in your business is priceless. Nobody else can offer the same solutions in the same way that you can, right? But you have to believe that. You have to know that you are a priceless commodity. There are ways that you can absolutely start to build your confidence in your business, build your confidence in your new industry and your new expertise while you are building your brand. What I have found is that a lot of people, they want to wait until they feel totally confident, super secure, and all of that, and you never feel that. I just share with you guys that I just launched my coaching group last night. I've been doing business coaching formally under my name for, what am I at now? A year and a half. Prior to that, I did business coaching for another company. Prior to that, or still for the last 13 years, I have been in business for myself. So I have walked this path. I know what I'm talking about in the area of business, right? However, imposter syndrome comes up every single time I'm ready to launch something, every single time that I finish a digital product, every single time that I am opening a new chapter in my business, because it is a normal fear in entrepreneurship. Imposter syndrome is normal, it's real, but you just have to understand, what do I need to be thinking about so I can get past this? So that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. And those 3 things are things you already have. I'm not going to tell you to buy anything. I'm just going to tell you to evaluate where you are so that you can so that you can overcome imposter syndrome. So what are these magical 3 things that I talk about? First of all, they're not magic at all. They are absolutely who you are already, right? And those 3 things, and I'll break each one down, but I'm going to share it with you right now. The 3 things that make you the best solution for your business, for your clients, for your brand, to get them that result, they're going to lie in your expertise, your passion, and your purpose, right? So let's break those down. If you are feeling not so confident, you're new in business, you're starting, or maybe you're launching a new product line, right? So like I'm doing group coaching, I was doing one-on-one, very different than group coaching. So what if now that you're doing that new thing in your business, or you're exposing yourself more, you're now running Facebook ads, you're now pulling in more people, you're taking stages, you're talking on podcasts, TED Talks, conferences, all of those things. And now you start to feel like, oh my gosh, are people going to look at me like I'm crazy? You're going to go back to these 3 things to give yourself an instant, like kind of think of a vitamin shot, right? You're going to give yourself that instant boost. So your expertise is wrapped around the tangible things that you have learned, experienced, and grown through that make you qualified to do this job. Okay, so your expertise could be the fact that you have a degree in this area, you've studied this area, you have a certificate, you have awards, you have years of experience doing it. All of those things add together to be your expertise, and why when you start to doubt yourself or have imposter syndrome, you can literally go back to that paper, that degree. Like, okay, I have a master's degree in counseling. I know how to pay attention to people, listen, and help them solve a problem. My background, I just said, is psychology, and I was a therapist. And so I understand putting together a treatment plan and executing on it. I was also trained to be very patient with someone else's process through that treatment plan, and to praise any type of progress that I saw. So that helps me as a business coach to really help people understand you have to celebrate all the steps to that big win, right? You can't overlook it. So, what is that for you? What is the expertise that you bring to the table? What is that tangible thing that you can say, I have 5 years experience, 13 years experience, I have a degree, a certificate, I'm trained. What is that tangible thing that you can say that supports your business? If you are joining me live or on the replay in Facebook, write it in the comments. If you're on YouTube, you can write in the comments as well. So that's number one, your expertise. That's a tangible thing. Number two, your passion. Oh my gosh, you guys are, well, I'm going to say this country is the most passion-driven place ever. People feel like because they have a passion for something or a heart for it, they just get to go all in and all out for that particular thing. And lots of businesses are formed from somebody's passion, from something that they feel, I'm going to use this word, righteous indignation about, right? I'm passionate to see women not waste their time overthinking, rethinking, and not being focused in business, because I understand that those children you had, your spouse, your marriage still needs you, right? And so if I'm able to help you streamline and find some business success, you can get back to the reason why you wanted to be your own boss in the first place, which is to have the flexibility and enjoy your life. That is a part of my passion. It pains me. Often your passion is also tied to like some statistics or some facts that you know, some things that when you talk about it, you can talk all day, right? So that points to your passion. If your business is related at all to your passion, especially if you started a business out of something you're passionate about, then this is what you're going to use and fall back on when you start to think about, am I really going to be good at this? Your audience needs someone who is passionate about them and about finding a solution for them. So that is absolutely nothing to sneeze at, that it fires you up. It brings out the best in you because you have a passion to do this. So think about your passion. Like, is it connected to a statistic? For me, 18%, you guys, only 18% of women entrepreneurs break the 100K income ceiling. How crazy is that? And I know a lot of it is because we're balancing so much. We're moms, we're wives, we have jobs, and then we have this business that we know can be worth so much. Even if it's just worth so much for my personal wins, even if it's worth so much just to my local community. But it has large value for this woman, yet she does not know where she's going to find the time. So that is a passion of mine, to help her find the time and create consistent income and do it while she's still having family time and being present with her kids and her spouse. So that is where my passion is. If you guys so far can relate to being an expert or being passionate, then put that in the chat. Like, my business was built on my expertise. My business was built on my passion. The third is purpose. Some of you absolutely built a business because you felt purpose to do so. You feel like you have this grace on your life. Like, everything about you was designed to do this particular job, right? When you do this, when you're in your field, when you're in your zone, when you're doing business the way that you know it should be done, you feel so fulfilled. Where, like, the expert, they're trained to do this, they studied, they have certificates, all of that, and nothing's wrong with that. But sometimes that just feels like a job. Your passion can sometimes change. But for those of us who feel purposed to run our businesses on purpose, and you feel like, I am purpose for this, this is my thing, nothing's gonna stop me, and you start a business out of that thing you feel purpose to do, the only challenge that I see there is when people don't have a big enough reason to stay on purpose, right? I think the vast majority of people will never understand what their purpose is. And for those who understand their purpose, they don't have the heart or bravery to follow it. However, understanding and knowing how you are wired, like what you are gifted at, like naturally gifted, right? You are purpose for this thing. That absolutely trumps imposter syndrome, because your audience is going to understand that you feel designed to do this for them. You feel a big sense of fulfillment when you do this for them. So you're just as committed to getting them a result as they are coming to you to get results, right? You are just as committed to their solution as they are. Now, let's imagine this like super ideal world where you can figure out what it is in business that pulls on your expertise, your passion, and your purpose. For a lot of us, it takes a while before we get here. And you know what? That is totally okay. What I want you to do is, whether you are an expert at something, whether you're passionate about that thing, or whether you feel purposed, I want you to start with what you have right now today. Don't wait until you have all three of those things to look at imposter syndrome and say, you know what? I am the woman for this job. I can get this done. I will have 100K in my business in the next 12 months. I am not a slouch entrepreneur, right? And don't allow those things, because really imposter syndrome lives in your own head. You will have a few haters. You will have a few people that will say some things that kind of put you on guard. But most of the imposter syndrome is what you do to yourself. So when you're doing that to yourself, I want you to go to these three things and say to yourself, I am an expert. I do have a passion for this. I am purposed for this. Like, I literally was born to do this thing. I am lucky, blessed, all of that, to be in a place where I feel right now I am doing the thing that hits all three of those. I'm going to call it the trifecta, right? As a business coach, I am super passionate about helping women have a lifestyle that allows them to have a thriving business, but also be present for their children. I am purpose for this because literally, like, all of my life experience and everything I've done has always led me to helping someone, helping them reach a major milestone right in front of them. And I understand what I have done with other people, how I feel graced to do this job. So you can't really argue with me on the purpose part. And the expertise, I have degrees in counseling. I have years of experience as a business owner. So the expertise was an easy box to check. And not all of you are going to be able to check all three boxes for the business you're starting, and that is not a reason to push that business aside. Like I said, my road to becoming an expert and to becoming this business coach is paved with several things that now give me the confidence to stand on and stand firmly on that thing and look imposter syndrome right in its face and say, I am the woman for this job. I can do this, and I will not allow something like imposter syndrome to slow me down or cause me not to move. I understand, especially because I work from passion and purpose as well, that my clients need me. They need this solution from me. They need the patience from me. They need what I am bringing to the table, and that is the same for you. You are the secret sauce to your business. There are no other business coaches with the same life experience that I have. There are no other business coaches who have the same giftedness that I have, the same family background, the same blended family that I am creating with my husband. Nobody has this combination, which makes me uniquely equipped and prepared for this day to run this business. And that's how I want you to approach it. When you start to doubt yourself, when you start to doubt your expertise, one, know that it's real, and know that like almost every entrepreneur goes through this. But two, if you're choosing to be an entrepreneur, you have to find ways that you're going to bounce back when you deal with your fears, when you're confronted with your fears. And it never stops. So I don't care if you've made your first 100K in business, you're going to have this again as you're approaching 500,000, your $500,000 mark. You're going to approach this as you're approaching your million mark. You're going to approach it when you're launching a new product line, when you're reaching a new clientele, when you're diversifying, when you're going into joint ventures. And the thing that happens is over time, you understand what's happening and you nip it in the bud much quicker. So at this point, I approach my projects and I literally like think through my fears. I'm a very spiritual person, so I combat my fears with scripture, with prayer, and then I go for it because I feel like I have released that thing. I have already said, no, I'm not going to be afraid of that. And here's all the evidence that I needed from scripture. And I stand on those things. So it doesn't mean that I'm devoid of fear. It doesn't mean that your favorite millionaire and your favorite celebrity and your business crush doesn't have fears. They absolutely do. Most people deal with imposter syndrome, but you are an expert, you're passionate, and you have purpose. And those things will absolutely combat imposter syndrome anytime. So thank you guys for being with me for Win the Day. Please join me on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. And I am currently available anywhere that you listen to podcasts. So the podcast is out, the YouTube channel is running, and of course, Facebook is where I have my business page and where you can connect to me every month for a strategy challenge where I do a deep dive into business models, really aiming to help you customize your business and find ways that you can make money that fit your lifestyle. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Again, I am Tanika D'Souza, the 100K challenge chick, and I want us to all win and hit that 100K income in our businesses. You guys have a great day. Talk soon. Bye.